This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. On today's episode of The Havery Show, we have a local icon. You've seen him downtown. You've seen him at every restaurant there is in Sebring, usually around lunchtime. Guy's been here forever. Well-known, well-loved member of the community. If you grew up here in Sebring, you might, and you were a guy, you might have had him as your coach on your Little League team. The very wonderful and iconic, one and only, Terry Leaphart. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Harry. Thank you. Kind words.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen.
Let's go to the beginning.
Okay.
Where's your family from?
My family my father was born in DeSoto City, Florida in 1928, went to the elementary school that still sits down there on DeSoto City Road.
New Prospect was the last thing I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now.
And he moved on to Sebring High School. I think they might have moved to town by then. They ended up on Stenawahi.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where. What part of Stenawahi? We were 1220. That was our first home. Was 1220 Stenawahi.
If you're coming off of Lakeview, it would have been the second block. It's almost before you run into Home Avenue.
Got it. Got it.
I don't know. The first I knew about them living there was like 1955 or 56.
Wow.
And it was just my grandmother then. I never knew my grandfather. He had passed away in the early 50s. But he was born and raised in Highlands County and joined the Air Force and ended up for a period of time in Waco, Texas, at James Conley Air Force Base, where he met my mother.
Okay.
And that's how that union came about. They got married when I was about 6 years old, and he adopted us, and we stayed at Waco till about the end of '62, and went to Bogota, Colombia, South America.
Holy moly! From DeSoto City to Waco, Texas, you find a woman in Waco, Texas. Was she tied to the military too, or was she just living?
She had been in the military, but when Terry came along, that ended her military career. You couldn't continue a military career if you were pregnant back in those days.
Gotcha.
I was born in 1950, so different era then, but. She was, in fact, in the military, but they didn't meet, with their military activities. My grandparents lived there, and we lived with them for a period of time. And I don't know, they met however people meet. A 2-year-old kid doesn't worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I got to ask though, because roughly what year would that have been that they met, or when she was in the military? What year would that have been?
She was in the military in the late 40s, 49.
Okay, got it.
I came along in 50, and that was the end of her military career.
Oh, okay.
My birth father is a whole different line of discussion. He took a powder, and so we ended up back with her mom and dad. We lived there with them till 55, 56 when my dad and my mom got married, and we lived in various houses around Waco till we moved.
Wow. And then to Bogota?
Bogota, Colombia.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
What drug you guys to Bogota?
Well, that was a military assignment.
A military thing. Okay.
My mom became a little bit interested, maybe fascinated with that, and thought it'd be a good chance for us to see part of the world and maybe learn a little Spanish, which we did, very little. But we spent 4 years down there, and my dad retired after 20 years, and we moved back to Sebring. I didn't get to vote on Sebring.
What would your vote have been?
Texas, Waco.
Oh, really?
I love Waco, Texas. Well, I love Sebring now.
Sure.
Also, yeah.
Sure. How old were you when you made the move back to Sebring?
Back to Sebring, I was 17,
Oh, wow.
junior.
And how long were you in Bogota? So you knew Waco. That
4
was your
years.
home.
Yeah.
That was your home. You wanted to go back home.
Yeah.
Well, we're all glad that you decided that your folks decided to bring you back to Sebring.
Well, and on balance, I am too. I mean, all the best things in my life have occurred due to being in Sebring.
Yeah.
Wife, four kids, 3 kids, a lot of good friends.
Absolutely.
I've said more than a few times, told a lot of people this is a heck of a good place to raise a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of different reasons.
Absolutely. I can concur with that as someone who was raised here and also as someone who raised a family here. It really is a wonderful place to raise a family. You came back to Sebring High at age 17. Is that right?
1967.
1967, right when the integration was about to start taking place.
We were the groundbreakers in the complete. They had done to my understanding, I wasn't here, but they had done sort of a test run in the year before, and they sent some of the black students over to Sebring High School, which was people like Rule Gunn and I think a couple of Tony Hudson.
Is that Herman's kid?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Ralph McGill
Yep.
was one of
I
those.
think Blanche Ankrum might have been in that group.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Blanche was in my class, I think.
Okay.
I
All right.
think
Well,
so.
there
We graduated together, and but when I started, there was no more E.O. Douglas.
Right.
We were all thrown in there together.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of the guests that I have on the show come from basically that same era. So, you mentioned names like the Bull of the Ridge, Glenn Odom, Bully Folsom, Jim Tavernier, Johnny Freeland. What are some of the names that pop out to you as being important back in those days?
My brother and I, who was 1 year younger than me, we got here in like August and started school the 1st of September. I don't know how they did it back then, but we went out for the football team, and there was Glenn Odom, Jim Tavernier, Johnny Freeland, Deanie Bankston he wasn't part of the school system, but he was a hanger-on at the football field. He always was out there giving his instruction and and knowledge. But of course, Bill Blanding was always around.
Yeah.
Mr. Hudson. The Nixons weren't involved too much in the football program, but they were always there.
Yeah. Was Ralph Janito there yet?
No, Ralph came. Glenn retired or went to the school board in 1968, and a man named Bob Ross, who they had hired as the basketball coach, took over the football team as well.
Okay, so the Tavernier had stepped down from basketball at that point.
Yeah.
To go into administration, maybe?
I don't think Tavernier was even the coach when I was a junior. I think he was already out of the basketball picture. He was helping with football, but
Gotcha.
I may be off a year or so.
Sure.
But he was. They hired Bobby Ross, I think, out of Mulberry to coach the basketball team.
That was the holy trinity of Sebring High School sports: Freeland, Tavernier, and Odom.
Pretty much.
And they were pretty much Ridge champions for a huge stretch back.
They won their share. It wasn't dominant, but it was notable.
Yeah.
But we that first year, integration didn't go smoothly everywhere.
No, it did not.
Went pretty well here.
Yeah.
And I attributed that to the fact that we had a kick butt football team, and everybody got behind that, and they didn't have time for all that little trivial nonsense.
That's right. Now, you had some great athletes.
Oh my
Both
gosh,
sides.
Ralph and Rule and Andrew Wilson, a running back, and the Mazzolines and two Smith brothers on the line, plus what we had,
Oh yeah.
the Dumonts and Sincaricks and
That's right. Some fine athletes came through Sebring, Florida.
Yep. And it all came together in that year. We, I think our final record was 10-2.
That's a great record.
Yep. We went all the way to I think it was like the quarterfinals in the state. We went up to Green Cove Springs and pretty much got our tails handed to us up there. But
this episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. Wow. Yeah, that was, I missed that. I missed that old school. My seventh grade class, we spent the first half of the year in the old school. And then the second half, we went over to the new building.
okay.
And I remember we had to take just loads and loads of books, everything you could carry to get. It was basically the students who moved everything from the school over to the new building.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does. Child labor didn't
I
count.
remember that was 74. Isn't that when the new high school opened?
No, well, the new high school, yes, but I was in 8th grade when the old high school was closed down.
Right.
So that became the middle school. The old high school became the middle school.
Right.
But it ceased to be a school the year that I was in 8th grade, which would have been 79, 80, 81.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that old building. The staircases on the sides and the wooden floors, and there was just there was a smell to it. There was an air to it. That was I was so happy that I got to go to that school. And the new one was exciting to be in too. You had new fresh carpet smell everywhere, and it was a weird looking building.
Yeah.
With those sides.
I got out, of course, in '69, and it was still active, so I didn't know anything about the new buildings and that. And I was out there at Harvard.
Oh, Harvard on the highway.
Harvard on the highway.
Yeah. Were you in Holland? Did you and Hollinger go out there? Were you in any classes together, Rodney?
Let's don't talk a lot about the 15 years it took me to get out of South Florida Community College. Yes, Rodney and I graduated and went to the junior college together.
Yeah. He was a good athlete.
He was a good everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
He was book smart.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm sure you're acquainted with the name, the nickname that he was given.
You talking about Hot Rod?
No, Perfect Pitch.
Oh yeah, Perfect Pitch.
He could pick up an instrument and play it and I don't know anything about music at all, but he could just pick it up and work it out and play it without any music or anything. And that's probably any instrument he could pick up.
It was amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you could tell him hum a B flat, and he could do it. Or you could just play any random note and say, "What's this note?" and he could tell you.
He could identify. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was also frustrating being in a band with him sometimes because of his perfect pitch.
I bet.
Yeah. What a great talent, though.
Yeah. Yeah. He was, and he was book smart. I'm trying to think of another nickname they gave him. David Masters gave him a nickname that doesn't come to mind right now. It wasn't flattering.
If it comes to you, even at 2 o'clock in the morning, you let me know.
I'll qualify it. Schultz.
They called him Schultz?
That's what David Masters called him. For what reason, I have no idea, but that was David's name for Rodney, Schultz.
Was that tied into Hogan's Heroes or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
Schultz.
If I ever knew, I can't remember. Just remember that David that's all he ever referred to him. Hey, Schultz.
Apparently, Rodney didn't mind.
Didn't bother him.
Yeah.
No.
Now, the stuff like that would roll off his back.
Pretty much.
Yeah. One of the most even-tempered guys I ever
Pretty
knew.
much. Pretty much.
Hey,
Oh, boy.
you recognize that guy in the corner?
Yeah, that's Jug Heston.
Yeah, what about the other guy?
Looks like some hippie guy. Yep, that. I recognize this cat right
He
here.
played for you too, didn't he? And Peter, I know
All Stars.
Peter played for you.
Peter and Charlie, they played on All Star team. I never actually had them on my regular year team, but
Gotcha.
yeah. Peter and Charlie both were good baseball players.
They really
liked
were. For some reason, and I don't know what the reasons are. Guess I don't need to. Peter was able to go up through the ranks at Sebring High School, but Charlie wasn't. And Charlie was a great athlete too, and he could have played for Sebring High School, but for whatever reason, I don't know if they didn't jibe with him or whatever, but he didn't get to play.
Well, and I don't know. I can't remember that well. You know, we had a kind of a transitional period between Chopper and Gary Rapp.
Mm-hmm.
We had some duds for coaches. I think we had one. I can't remember who it was. They had to wake up to tell him the game was over so he could get up and go home. And,
Oh wow!
you know, it just and I don't know which. I don't know if
He would have played for Coach Rapp.
would he.
Yeah.
Okay.
And someday, if I see Gary, I'll ask him.
Oh, he'll have an explanation.
I'm sure he will. Charlie got back at him though years later. It's kind of. I don't know if I should tell the story
Dixie
or not.
Thanks, District. Oh, that was our first year in Dixie Youth Baseball, I think.
Is that still at Marge Skipper?
Yeah.
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 Do you have those pictures somewhere, or is this the first time you've seen them?
I have I have all of those team pictures somewhere. I'd have to do some research to.
Yep. I have more stuff, but that's the stuff that I had handy. I thought I'd show
UFW
it to you.
Gaines first win. Lynch hurls no hitter. American Division All Stars. Keith Elliott, Dennis Hansen. That was a good athlete. Gary Garland, Joe Heston, Mike Heston, Kurt Walker, Scott Baker, Charlie Danick, Craig Miley, Mark Lucondi, Charlie Elliott, David DeLauder, Greg Stringer, Calvin Watson, and Tim Andrews. Standing. Buck Elliott, Terry Leaphart. News photo by Moyer, Rick Moyer.
Rick Moyer was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was also
Absolutely was.
he was a stalwart of the community. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I liked that guy. I liked that guy a lot.
Did I?
Marge Skipper Field. What a cool place.
If they would have built me a little 2-bedroom house out there in the outfield, I used to pick my kids up after I got going coaching a little bit. I used to pick my kids up and put them from the 3 elementary schools and put them in my raggedy pickup truck and take them out to Marge Skipper.
Yeah.
Later on, I took them over to Woodlawn, but I'd just take off work at 3:30 in the afternoon, go pick them up, and we'd do baseball practice before anybody else could ever get there.
Yeah. When you say in your pickup truck, probably right in the back of the pickup truck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Stuff
Absolutely.
I'd be put under the jail for now.
Man, the stuff that we used to do that was just commonplace.
Yep.
You can't do it anymore. No way. This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. So I mentioned at the very beginning how you might be seen at any given time at any restaurant around during lunch. I want to talk about for a second some of the old Sebring restaurants that have long since been forgotten and closed. What do you remember? What comes to mind?
Well, Alex's,
Yeah.
that was a great place to eat, and then Fisher's restaurant up there.
Yep.
But when you really kind of boil it down, there weren't all that many restaurants in downtown Sebring.
There really weren't. You had Alex's, and Alex's they had great sandwiches, and Alex's always gave me a sucker. We'd get ready to leave, and he'd say, "You want a lolly?" I always got a lolly. We went to St. Catharines together too, and his whole family. What a nice family. What was his wife's name? Julie. No, was it Julie? Alex. Julie Sabo.
That sounds kind of right.
Julie.
Sounds kind of right. Yeah.
And Alex Jr. and Jimmy.
I always thought one of their top of the line sandwiches was the cheeseburger bath or something like that. And somebody said, "Yeah, you don't know what that means until you have to take a shower after you get through eating." And it was just juicy and
yeah. And Fisher's, I really don't remember much about Fisher's. When did that come down?
Now, this is a test for my memory, but I think they closed Fisher's and then Sparks Disco. You remember Sparks Disco?
Yeah. But that was in a different building, wasn't it? Wasn't Fisher's where the Garden of Joy is now?
Yes, I think.
Didn't that come? That came down, right? That was a separate building.
Oh yeah, but I was thinking that maybe Sparks was in the next building over. It was right there in that same piece of pie around the circle.
Yeah, Sparks was in the Circle Theater where that is now.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm upset because I love Sebring. I love Sebring history, and everyone talks about Fisher's, and I just don't remember Fisher's, and I don't remember it. I don't remember.
It was just a great family restaurant. They were, if I remember right, they were open on Sundays, which was not that common.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Baptist and Methodist and downtown church people went and had their lunch after church.
Well, what about the Cat House? That was when it was in the Nancessoy.
Yeah, that came along a little bit later. It was not the Cat House when I was in school, or shortly thereafter. Can't remember the two guys at the Cat House, but it was a great restaurant. I had actually forgotten that one. That was a you call it a buffet style?
Yeah.
You just go through the line and I want one of those and one of those. And
cafeteria,
and serve that like you don't own it. And,
The other place that had that same style was it was the hotel out on 27. It wasn't Ranch House. Ranch House did have something similar, but there was a hotel over between where they just put the new oil change place where Checkers used to be and Popeyes. There was a hotel there. The hotel's still there, but the restaurant used to have a cafeteria style, and the Bucksbaums owned it. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I do not.
Yeah.
The other restaurant I remember out there was across the street. It was the Howard Johnson's.
Howard Johnson's, yes, and
across the road from that. I remember I guess I remember an old motel that was out there, but I don't remember the only thing else I remember out there was the what's the cold drink, A&W.
A&W, yes, that was out there.
That was one of the last places that had the car hop service.
Yep, that's right.
Walk out and take your order and then bring it to you. And,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The place I'm talking about was Bee Gees in the 80s, around 84, 85, Bee Gees Italian restaurant. I used to sing out there.
Okay. See, I was
Right across from Publix, directly across from Publix. And you had the lobby of the hotel.
just
and
doesn't register with me.
It's gone now.
Well, and
gone.
I was working out of town a lot during the 80s.
I got you.
Once I went to work at the prison, I worked all over this part of the state.
Yeah.
My time in Sebring was spent sleeping, mostly.
Touchton's. Remember Touchton's? They had the cafe in there.
Absolutely.
They had the best hash browns.
I was talking to somebody about that a couple of days ago. They had a Touchton's in Avon Park too.
I did not know that.
Yep, it's I don't know Avon Park streets, but if the building's still there that Touchton's was in, it was on a corner. But when I started at the community college, it was all downtown Avon Park.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by the Jacaranda.
It was across the street from the Jacaranda.
Okay, gotcha.
They occupied that whole building, and then they had PE over in the armory,
Right.
and they had another something down there in that. I think it might be a church now, but anyway, they had just little compartments here and there. And but Touchton's had a breakfast. I think it was like 99 cents, eggs and toast, and I don't know if you got probably hash browns. The bacon might have been too upscale, but I'd go in there and order 3 of them. Just put them on the same plate.
Those are
Between
the
classes.
99 cents.
And then that's probably why it took me so long to finish out there, because I'd go in there and eat 3 breakfasts and I couldn't stay awake for the dadgum class.
Well, you were up in Avon Park. Then Maryland Fried Chicken was still there. That was probably, I wouldn't say new, but it wasn't old at that point.
No, and realistically, I've never eaten out of that restaurant.
You got to be kidding.
No.
Either branch?
No.
That's some of the best fried chicken around.
Maybe somebody got some and brought it somewhere, but I've never actually physically gone to that restaurant.
Do you like fried chicken?
I love it. Matt Hall told me, he said, Terry, I will drive right past a Kentucky Fried Chicken to get to Maryland Fried
Every
Chicken.
time. Every single time, hands down. It's that much better. I can't believe it. I'm kind of shocked. Wow. If you ever want to go to Maryland Fried Chicken, I'll take you and I'll buy lunch just so I can see the look on your face when you try it for the first time.
Well, I'm not hard to please when it comes to eating.
Yeah, that's some good food.
You can count on these 2 or 3 fingers how many meals I've ever sent back in a restaurant. They put it in front of me, I'm going to eat it.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I, and it's not even a complaint. One observation about Maryland Fried Chicken is their pieces are small, and I kind of like that because it makes me tend to believe that it's not full of hormones and everything else. They're not giant, giant turkey-looking pieces of chicken, but it's so good. Avon Park, right across the street. Do you remember Neisner's? The department store, Neisner's department store.
I do.
That was a cool place.
Yep.
Do you remember how it, well, maybe not for you, but for me, it felt like an eternity just to get from Sebring to Avon Park when I was a kid. It just seemed like a big deal. We're going to Avon Park. We're going to go to the new J.C. Penney. It just seemed like a big deal.
Yeah, it was a journey. When we got to Sebring, first couple of 3 or 4, Sebring was pretty much self-contained.
Yeah,
Anything you needed, you could get in Sebring downtown.
that's right.
And there's been a renaissance of that here in the last few months.
Absolutely.
Going down through Sebring around the circle and having all the parking spaces taken up on a Saturday afternoon reminds me a lot of the late 60s when we got here.
Yep.
Go down there and get a haircut,
Yes.
go over and buy a new shirt,
Yes.
Get a pair of shoes down at Wilson's,
Yep.
Go to the movies.
Yes, that's right.
Can't remember how many times I watched Day of the Triffids in that old, I don't know that building's still in there.
It was the Florida.
Huh?
Florida. I think the Florida Theater.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Make a day of it.
Yep. Wilson Shoes, Benny's Menswear, Con's Department Store. Um,
Well, see, Benny's Menswear was a later day thing. It probably came along in the mid '70s.
yes,
Huh?
where the power company is now, where the
Yeah,
yeah
yeah.
Sebring Utilities,
In the old bank.
the old bank.
In
Yes,
the old bank.
that's right.
We have more old banks
Yeah.
than.
This episode of the Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020.
Yeah, that I had my first bank account in the First Federal building over there behind D's on the. I don't even know what they do out of there. Some kind of supply company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good supply of
What's that transmission place?
former banks, huh?
The one over kind of across from Friends of the Library, sort of behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last I saw, it was a transmission something or other.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is or not
I
anymore.
think it's transmission parts.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah. I don't think they actually do any mechanical work out of it. But.
And of course, Dee's place when she was over in the Nancesso East, that's where she got her start, and she did a wonderful job there.
I ate over there a few times.
Yeah, a few. If I have to find you, if somebody came to me and said, we got to find Terry Leaphart, and I'm going to say, what time is it? And they're going to say, it's about 11:30, 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to say, go check May Lee's first.
That would be a good bet. Oh, this is my...
We interrupt this program for a special transmission. Take it if you need to. I can edit it out.
Huh?
I can edit it out if you need to take it.
Hey, let me call you in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
All right.
That's an important man right there. Always on the go. Always on call.
Oh, that's family shenanigans there.
Yeah. Aren't there always shenanigans with family?
Absolutely.
Speaking of family, tell me about your family. I mean, I know about your family, but the listeners might not. So,
well, my family after high school started when Rebecca Jane Heston and I got married in 1970, 27th of June. We just celebrated 55 years.
wow.
And we were blessed with 2 children, Ryan and Angela. They both work for the school system right now. And then due to a tragedy, we got our 3rd child, which was Maria Evelyn, whose parents were both killed at the same time in a car accident over on Ben Eastman Road. So we raised her. And by and large, it was a blessing.
Mm-hmm. How long ago was that? When did that happen? When did you take her in?
1980.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's 46 years old now, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have grandkids.
Yep. We got 6.
That's a good number.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Our youngest is 18 now.
Wow. Your youngest grandkid?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. So what about do you have greats? You have great
Not
grands?
yet. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
They got to be in the right age for it.
Madison Kate, which is Ryan's daughter, oldest daughter, just turned 24.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she's busy establishing her nursing career. So I don't know if that's in the plans or not.
Yeah.
Of course, things happen that you don't plan on. So
That's a fact. That's a true fact. I can attest to that.
I'm saying there's a lot of us walking around right now that didn't plan on a lot of things, but they came about.
Yeah. Things have a way of coming about.
Yeah.
Ready or not.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your work at the sheriff's office in and go. Well, let's start at the beginning. What was your first line of work here in Sebring as a young man coming out of college?
I started my working career before college. I was moping around. I discovered that playing basketball at the high school didn't generate any money whatsoever, and I was down to my last $4 or $5 in the bank, and I said something to a football player, golly, Jack I can't remember Jack's last name. He was a good Anyway, I said something to him. He said, "Well, come on." He took me down to Sebring Body Works and got me hired on the spot as a painter's helper.
Really?
So I quit the basketball team and I worked at a body shop for the next 12 years.
Sebring Body Shop. Where was that?
Maple Street, where Maple runs into the Parkway.
Okay.
The body shop, it's been torn down now.
Oh, I gotcha.
But there's the cabinet shop
Yeah.
across the street. It was right up. There's a whole nother story about that.
It's kind of by the old car wash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up the street from the car wash. Yeah, but I did body work and tried to finish school for the next 12 years, and I finally decided I needed to do something different and concentrate on getting through college. So I went to work at the Department of Corrections, figuring I could study on the midnight shift and, whatever. Retired there after 25 years and came to the sheriff's office.
Wow.
For something different.
Yeah. How many years do you have at the sheriff's office now?
Coming up on 19.
19 years.
Yep.
You've been through 3 sheriffs.
2.
2 sheriffs.
Susan.
Okay.
I knew Howie, but I didn't work for him.
Gotcha. Howie was a guest on the podcast.
Was he?
2 episodes ago.
Cool.
Yeah. That guy. Have you seen him lately?
No.
He's a mountain.
Really?
He's a mountain. He's
Oh, he's always been into bodybuilding and physical fitness.
This guy. I don't know that I've ever seen him as big as he is now. He is just jacked.
Well, I haven't seen him in forever.
My word. I couldn't believe it. He was with he was with Paul Antone. They're both pro wrestlers. Paul's still a wrestler, and
Wow.
how he used to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very
Remember
cool.
that.
Yeah. So what is your function over at the sheriff's office?
My official title is victim advocate, which entails helping somebody that's been a victim of a crime in whatever way we can assist them. Basically, it's not, and this is not a criticism, it's probably an actual accolade, if you will, that a lot of people don't know a lot about the criminal justice system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good by and large. But if you get tangled up in it, it can be pretty confusing. And we do stuff like we go to court with people. We help them get protective injunctions. We help them apply for compensation when they've been a victim that's, cost them a lot of money, which, obviously if somebody gets murdered, that's a costly thing, and everybody's not prepared to pay for a funeral. It costs
Absolutely.
$8,000, $9,000, $10,000. So the state runs a program that provides for some of that, and we help them acquire that compensation. So
It's almost a reverse public defender. It's almost. Almost. Is it appointed, or is that something you apply for, or is it just something that happens here? You now are assigned, this advocate.
No, we that's a big part of our job. We get up, my partner and I take turns week on, week off. We monitor all the reports that come through, and if there's something that qualifies, we reach out either by letter or phone, and we get a lot of referrals from a lot of different places. Our detectives, our road guys, call on us to help, if we're not otherwise aware. We have plenty of business.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yep, it is sad, but I guess it'd be a lot sadder if we didn't have that.
That's true.
Not patting myself on the back, but occasionally I do some good.
Now, you do a lot of good.
Occasionally.
Well, okay. You do a lot of good. This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. Speaking of that, you're active at Bible Fellowship Church. You're one of the deacons out there.
Correct.
Yeah. What brought you out to Bible Fellowship? How'd you get there?
Oh my gosh. Well, let me go way back in the history. When I took that body shop job that we just talked about, the guy that was running the shop for Jack Reynolds was named Bankston. Deanie Bankston.
Yeah.
And he became good, bad, or indifferent, my big brother.
Got it.
And through him, I met Eugene. Eugene, first time I ever saw Eugene, I think they had two of their girls then, and they were coming from Dallas, Texas, in their little Volkswagen Bug. All four of them in luggage. And so I met him, and we actually went to some of his first services when he came to Sebring and became a pastor. He pastored at the Loretta.
Oh, wow.
Not the Loretta Baptist, but the one that's associated with the Palms.
So you're the Brethren. Yeah.
Yeah, the Brethren.
You're going way back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was right around 1970, 71 in there. And, well, he when he came out of the Brethren Church, he pastored at the Sebring High School, new library.
Yeah, that's right.
And
we went that, he was at Harshman's house.
What's that? Yeah, they started at the Harshmans.
Yes.
And then I kind of outgrew that and came to the high school. And but Becky was Catholic. She was raised Catholic. Yep.
St. Catherine's.
And when we decided to get married, she wanted to. I was neutral. I didn't care. I just wanted to get married. And we had to go for instructions at the Catholic Church under Father Grogan, if you remember him.
Yep. And the old wooden church.
Yep. And anyway, part of that process was you have to promise to raise your children in the Catholic Church. So from 74, when we had our first child, till our last child got of age and they could decide where they wanted to go to church, we went to the Catholic Church. Yeah. I never forget the shock that I went to Catholic Church, and then I went to a service that Eugene had, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
The Catholic Church is 45 minutes.
In and out.
Not 30 seconds less, not 30 seconds more. You go in, you know exactly when you're coming out.
You have a 10-minute sermon. That's it.
Yep.
10-minute.
Yep. And you did communion every service, and you did. But anyway, long story short, when we got through with that, we came to Bible Fellowship.
Yeah.
We actually came back came back over there when the new sanctuary was built.
Got it.
However long that's been, gosh.
Well, it was 2000.
Okay.
1999, 2000, right around
25 years, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up at St. Catherine's too. And I remember the transition was strange going over to Eugene's. So Dawn, my wife Dawn, she grew up Wesleyan. So she was a Protestant and I was a Catholic. And so right off the bat, that was troubles, And I was trying to get her saved because, the only way is through the Catholic Church. It's the only true church. That's what I believed back then. I really thought she was going to hell, and I didn't. I felt terrible. But to make a long story short, the kids got to the point where we would say we're going to church, and they would say, "Are we going to mommy's church or daddy's church?" And when that happened, it was like something has to change. So we picked Bible fellowship as a neutral ground. We started going in the evening. But yeah, it was weird going to Bible fellowship at first.
Yeah.
Really, really weird. Our first episode at Bible Fellowship Church, we showed up at night for an evening service. We had the 3 kids with us. Harrison was a baby. And the first person that came up to us was Karen Knowles.
Wow.
And she said, "We have a nursery for the kids." There's no way I'm putting my kids in a nursery at a strange place that I've never been, and I don't know who these people are. And I said, "We're going to keep them with us." And she said, "Well, if they get loud, you're going to have to take them out." So that was our welcome. Welcome to Bible Fellowship. But we stuck it out.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did. That was a big life-changing event, that one service.
I have no regrets in that regard. I was not. I once got some kind of perfect attendance award. My parents took me to Sunday school and church, and I went. But I never had any hard, fast concept about what was going to get me to heaven and what was going to have me go to hell if I didn't straighten up. And, so the transition was really, and, when we got through with our obligation in the Catholic Church, and we just mutually agreed we're going to go look at something else, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you've been there all that time.
Yeah.
Active, too. Yeah.
Reasonably.
Yeah. I think it's great. I'm going to continue looking for you. Every time I go out to eat lunch somewhere, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder just to see if you're there.
Well, I eat at Maylee's at lunch, and I eat at Dee's at noon. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm in Dee's every morning by 7, and Maylee's at usually about 5 till 12.
There's nothing like consistency. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to eat somewhere. Why do you eat there every day? I said, well, I can get something different every day if I want it.
That's right. Yeah.
Why do I have to travel around? Well, and I'm going to tell you, when I started working down here, Maylee's and the Sandy's were about it as far as a place to eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to spend 20 minutes driving across town and 20 minutes eating lunch and then 20 minutes hauling tail back.
Yeah.
I go down there. I can be there in 5 minutes from work. I actually used to walk to Sandy's from the office.
Yeah, that's a nice walk. I like to end these podcasts with a goofy question, and it's always different. It's always different, and I never know what it is until the second that I think about it and let it fly. So here you go.
Let it fly.
All right, yep. You can pick any era of all time to live out 1 year of your life starting tomorrow. Any era. What would it be?
Am I going to be alive at the end of that era?
You get 1 year of life, and you get to come out of it alive, and you start tomorrow at the age you are right now. You get to step into any era, any age, any year, and you get to live there for 1 year.
I would go back to probably the 1940s and live in a little town called Sidney, Texas, where my great-grandparents were and all my aunts and uncles, and where my grandmother was born, and just be with those people for 1 year.
Yeah.
That was my happy place. Not that this is not a happy place, but they were dirt farmers, and just a cool place.
Nice. This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. Terry, I appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
And if you see fit not to air this disaster, it won't hurt my feelings any.
I thought you did great.
Okay, well, you're the guy that gets to think.
I don't get paid to think, but I do think. But you did great, and I'm grateful. I appreciate it. I love talking about old Sebring, especially with people who've been there.
Yeah, and since I've been here and been mulling it over, I'm like, man, I feel like I know a lot about Sebring, but then I think, no, was that station there, or was that, I got on a thinking binge here few months ago, trying to figure out what was the oldest continuous business in Sebring.
At this point, it's got to be close to Dee's place or May Lee's.
Not even close.
Really? No, we're not talking about.
We're talking about a business.
Not a
food service.
Like that. A business.
Not a clothing store, but just a business.
Do you have the answer?
I think I do.
Huh. Hit me.
Okay. Ryle's Pump.
Yeah.
And the Yogi Bar.
Does it still? Yeah, I guess even though it's Sally Rick's, it's still continuous. I love Sally and I love Rick, but I wish they'd have never changed the name of that place.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I have never been in. I've been in that building one time, and that was to go get one of my body men, and get him to work rather than getting drunk. So, but I can remember that place from the first days I was in Sebring, and I can't really lock in on anything. I mean, there's buildings, but business-wise,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's been there forever. I only went in a couple times. There was a family, the Galterios.
Yeah,
it was a family band, and they used to play in there when I was a teenager, upper teens. But that was the place where they had to drag my old man out of. My mom would have to go get him sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be at Yogi Bar, and she'd have to go pick up. Did you remember him at all, Ralph?
Yeah,
Ralph.
Oh, yeah.
Havery? What do you know about him?
Not a whole lot. When I let's see, I started my own body shop down here where the VFW is. You remember Sparks TV?
Yeah.
And then somebody built a 2-stall garage between there and the house that set.
Wait a minute. Let's go back a second. Sparks TV.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. Where was that?
Ralph lived out across the alley from Sparks TV.
Where was Sparks TV?
It was between Maple Street and, let's see, it's right there where the VFW is. Right in that.
Okay.
I think the little house is gone.
American Legion.
Yeah, American
by
Legion.
the polling place.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so Sparks TV was, it was in that little plaza, right?
Yep.
Okay, got it. And so, that my dad lived somewhere right around there.
Yeah, he lived in it comes to mind that he lived there with Charlie Kidd's dad.
Yes.
That's how I know Ralph.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, he was a plumber.
Yeah.
He worked for the school board. He was a milkman when they first came down. He worked for Borden's. Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember him being a good guy. I mean, I enjoyed talking to him and shooting the breeze with him, but that's.
You may well remember him more than I do. I really don't have very many memories of him at all. It's nice to hear when somebody does remember him, though. It makes me happy.
Well, I kept that shop for, I think, maybe like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were there and then, of course, when I moved off and moved, I still saw him around, for occasionally.
Yeah.
Then I lost, trying to think of what Charlie's dad's name was.
It was Charlie, wasn't it? Donald.
Don, yeah.
Don
Kid.
Don Kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad ended up moving to Lake Placid, I believe, and I think that's where he passed. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was in Lake Placid, but by then he had lost his license and he couldn't drive anymore. And
Oh, wow.
it had gotten real bad. He also had cancer, apparently, and he told my mom he wasn't going to live past a certain time, and he didn't.
Right on the money, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. He died 1 week short of his 59th birthday, and
Wow.
I am 58.
You blow by that.
I don't know, do you remember Chris Havery and Jimmy Havery, my older brothers through my dad? They weren't here much, but...
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Yeah, there was Chris.
I know the Haverys and the Danicks and the Shudos.
Yes. Shirley's, of course, Shirley's gone, and Charlie's gone now, too.
That I don't know if I...
My brother Charlie passed away a few years ago because of a paperwork glitch in the insurance company. The people that were setting up he was going to have a surgery done on his heart, and they were running the insurance, and they canceled his surgery and said, your insurance isn't going to pay for this. He ended up dying just a few days later, and then it turned out that they had the wrong insurance information from a previous employer.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Anyway, I miss him. I miss Shirley.
Yeah.
Chris and Jimmy I didn't know very well. And then there's Mark. There was Mark Havery, too. I have a half-brother, Mark, and he's indisposed.
Indisposed?
He's indisposed. The Havery Show has been brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020.
Glory to the